Hi, I'd like to speak to you about the core and what the core is, what it's not, and how to condition it. So we've been working with people with back pain and lots of different areas of health and whatnot for years. One of the things that we always like to kind of focus massively on is the core for most people. So let's talk about what the core is and what it's not. So first things first, the core can be thought of as a big kind of giant natural corset which comes around the entire body, and that can be called the transversus abdominis. It also consists of lots of little muscles going up and down the spine, the pelvic floor, which is all the way at the bottom, and it even includes the diaphragm, the muscle that we all know is essential for breathing. So when we're looking at the core, what we're looking at is what we call the inner unit. So the inner unit takes an increased amount of conditioning for it to work properly. The one thing, or the misconception that most people actually have about the core, is that they think it's the rectus abdominis or the kind of six-pack muscles. So often when people come and see us, they've already been doing lots of crunches and sit-up type exercises, or maybe they've been doing something like hanging leg raises or something like that. And what that does is that actually switches the core off. So what we need to look at is we need to look at all this beautiful musculature all the way around the spine and how that stabilizes the pelvis, how it stabilizes the entire spine, the neck, and the core switches on milliseconds before any other movement in the body. So if you're just reaching to go and grab something, the core naturally has got to engage properly before you can actually reach and bend, just to stabilize. So majority of people actually injure themselves, especially their backs, in a bend position, usually with a twist. Now think when you're lifting things out of a kind of a suitcase out of a boot of a car or something in holiday season, you might feel a twinge in the back, and usually that's because the core isn't working. So when somebody starts to talk about doing core stabilization exercises, the number one thing that you've got to do first is assess the core. So one of the first things that we need to do before we start working on the core is test it, because we can go straight into conditioning the core, but we always need a benchmark. So this is called a pressure biofeedback, and it's a really great way just to test the core first of all, and then we can use it then for exercise all the way through to start conditioning it on a really, really great level.